Welcome back to your daily dose of dopamine. I'm here with my friend Hillary from the Parkinson Voice Project. We had the great happenstance of being at the PMD Alliance, all in together in Austin at the end of November. And I want to just catch up with you. We're about a month out now.
Yeah.
What has stuck with you? I thought it was a fantastic event. What has stuck with you a month later, and what maybe how are you using anything that you took from there to start the new year with intent?
Well, relationships. So met a lot of people in the space and was introduced to a lot of the other resources out there for our folks with Parkinson. So I love that. I appreciate PMD Alliance. I first knew of their work with their webinars. They do a great job on the medical aspects of those, really well curated, put together. And so that continued through on the lecture. They had several interesting lectures there, geared to helping support group leaders. And, we don't do support groups, we do our speak out therapy groups. And I have learned over the years, though, support groups get a bad rap. So
Mm,
often they are negative places that are not helpful. And so it seems in the planning of that, so many resources were given to help elevate those groups, to have them be meaningful, impactful, inspiring places that people leave from thinking, I can do more. I've got folks who understand me, and yet I can springboard off of that and do more. That was the overriding message. It was almost like, stop talking because there's too much good information and I don't know how to incorporate this to everything, right? It's like, so yeah, that's the community spirit
yeah.
of understanding and wanting to learn from others. All of your improv stuff, I think it's so different. Like, that's not normal.
I like
And
the way you said that.
right? And yet people who are just up there living their best lives and being involved in it and having fun and being silly and laughing at themselves, and small at the bottom having Parkinson's, right? That's not what they're leading with.
Yeah. That's a nice framing you put there because often I think that's exactly the inverse, right? People say, I have Parkinson's and who they are is way back here. And it gets further and further back and more lost as opposed to saying, you know what, I'm here. I am this actually. I'm all here. And yeah, Parkinson's is part of this, but now it's here. So that reframing is nice. There was a term that came forward very powerfully, and it's inspiring my new year for sure. A lot of what we're doing, which is rebranding Parkinson's. And there was a
Yes,
couple talks on that, and I didn't mind at all that even they got a little contentious. I think that's important
I
because
do.
there are so many angles in this unknown thing. We need to talk it out. We
Yes.
need to, to help people redefine support groups, what Parkinson's is, what kind of medical treatment. I mean, you said how you guys don't see yourself, you're not a support group. However, people feel supported at
Mm,
Parkinson Voice Project. So it's the same way with Rocksteady Boxing. It's not a support
yes.
group, but they feel supported. So you guys, you're doing something that support groups need to incorporate. They don't need to do boxing or speech language. However, there's something in what you're doing that works.
Yeah.
And we get that too. We're a sneaky support group.
Right,
Both
you are.
you
That's a
are,
good way of
right?
saying it.
Yeah. Because Clemmy with PMD Alliance is so
Yes.
big on that about having engaging support groups.
Yes.
Of course we want to talk. Of course we want a safe space to be able to share our
Right.
pains and our difficulties. But that can't again be the whole thing.
Right.
That's not, there's more of us.
That's
And
it.
so that's it. You said something earlier too I liked, which was just that discovery of the self that can happen when either you're singing or you're boxing or you're
Right.
improvising, right? It's like, wait a minute, I didn't even know this was me. I didn't know this was possible. And all of a sudden, there's we talk about rebranding Parkinson's. There's almost, I guess, maybe a rebranding of a person. Once
Mm.
Parkinson's becomes part of your life, it's like, okay, I'm going to accept the challenge of this journey and embrace the community. So I'm not having to do this on my own. Hey, you
Acceptance.
got the book.
Product placement, but right? I mean, that's the journey part of it, is that, so who am I now with?
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
question, right? And look at, this is something I know we tag it to Parkinson's, but all of us as we're aging, we have the same thing, whether it's Parkinson's or any other just shift, things that maybe was your identity that you can't do. And it may not even be because of an illness, it just might be because of life.
Right.
And so again, yeah, thank you for the product placement. The acceptance is, that's why I called the book that. It's the hard, it's hard. Acceptance
Yes.
is hard.
Yes. Yeah, I've heard patients tell me about that in their journeys, how they didn't accept. And so they
Yeah.
were fighting then. That's really kind of I mean, that's kind of what you're left with is you're fighting it and I don't, and this is not, and so it's negative. And that acceptance is it's not a rolling over, right? But it's walking through it with your eyes wide open and your shoulders back and go, okay, let's go. Let's do whatever
That's
this
it.
is with family and support and love and understanding,
Yes,
community.
right. Yeah, when you try to do it on your own because either you're scared or you don't want to be a burden or all these reasons,
Yes.
which are totally human, you understand them. But God, the journey gets that much harder, and
Yes.
it's a spiral. As
Right.
opposed to, like you said, so important that saying yes doesn't mean you like it, doesn't mean
Right.
necessarily that it's good for you or anything else. It's just saying it is what it is, and let's, like you said, shoulders back, head up, let's go,
Yeah.
let us go together.
That's it.
So I
Well,
love
and
it.
I love when I first heard about y'all and that story writing, and if I'll say it exactly right, but that the world, the media tells us what Parkinson's is, and that your point in having patients write their stories is that no, you tell your story, and then let's get those out there. That's the story of Parkinson's, and don't let the world tell you what it is. I love that.
Can we come back for one more? I promise you, I won't take the
Okay.
whole, one more. Let's come back for one more because you hit on story. I just want to do one more with you. Okay,
Okay,
good.
perfect.
This is
Thank you.
great. Thanks, Hillary. See you
Of
in the next one.
course.